Welcome once again. In this session, we want to consider the continuation of what we have discussed in the previous lesson. If you are new to this channel, ensure you subscribe to this channel to get more information. And if you are also new to this aspect that we are considering today, you can check the description link and you are going to find the link to other lessons that we have discussed. In today's lesson, we want to consider the very important aspect of algebra, and that is coefficient. Now, when you talk about coefficient, what do you understand by coefficient, and what are the things that we need to know about coefficient? We have this here to discuss or to explain what coefficient is, and we have some questions here to solve on coefficient for better understanding. Now, we can identify a particular term in an expression by using the letter or combination of letters involved. Now, how will you identify, like we said, a particular term in an expression by using the letters? When you have your letters, you're having A. We have talked about this in the first lesson, and this is an expression. If you're having 2A, 2A is also an expression. If you're having 4Y, it's also an expression. Now, these that we have here are expression. In the case when you're having A, and we say that A is an expression, what are we talking about there? This A simply means 1 multiplied by A. So when you're having a number and a letter together, we call that an expression. And like we have it here, 2A is the same thing as 2 multiplied by A, and that gives us 2A. Just like what we have discussed. Like I said, we have discussed this in the previous section. You can check the link, check the description below to get information on how we have come about this. Now, having said that, so what do we want to talk about under coefficient? Now, for instance, when you have 3y squared is the term in y squared. That means this is a term and this term is in y squared. Now, 2xy is the term in xy. 2xy is the term in xy. That's why we say we can identify a particular term in an expression by using the letter or combination of letters. Now, when you use the letter or combination of letters, then you are talking about a term. Now, the number in front of the letter is called the coefficient. The number you are having in front of the letter that you are having here, this 3 is the coefficient of 3y of y squared. Now, this 2 is the coefficient of xy, so that is what we refer to as the coefficient. Coefficient is simply the number before the letter, because in an algebraic expression that we have here, this is an algebraic expression, and here we are having the numbers. As you can see the numbers and the letters, the numbers and the letters. The numbers here are what we now refer to as the coefficient, and that is what we want to solve our question, or what we want to solve in the question that we have here. Now, we also consider the fact that when you look at it, and that's why we have the example, e.g. in the term, this is a term 2x squared, 2 is the coefficient of x squared. Also in the term 3xy, 3 is the coefficient of xy. Now, if no number is written in front of the term, like we have in the case of A here, now what are we talking about here? It means that the coefficient is either +1 or -1, depending on the sign that we have here. If, for instance, I'm having -x, the coefficient of -x is -1. And if I'm having x, the coefficient of x is the same thing as 1. So in that case, the sign signifies or denotes the coefficient. And if there is no number written in front, that means the coefficient is 1. And also, we are going to look at the fact that if, for instance, you are asked to find a coefficient in a particular expression and the coefficient of the term that you are asked to find is not given, it means that the coefficient is 0. So definitely coefficient can be 0 and can also be 1. So once the coefficient is 0, that means 0 multiplied by that term, probably x, will give us 0. So the term will not reflect in the expression. But that means when you are asked to find the coefficient of that particular term is going to be 0. because it does not reflect in that expression. So having said that, to explain what we refer to as coefficient, let's now see how we can solve questions on coefficients. That's why we're having solving coefficient problem. Now write down the coefficient of x in x squared minus 7x plus 4. Now, how are we going to solve this question? Remember what we are asked to do, to write down the coefficient of x. So we want to write down the coefficient of x. Now, how will you write down the coefficient of x? We are going to see how to solve that in this place. Now, the expression we are given is x squared. That's for number 1. This is number 1. Now, the expression we are given is x squared minus 7x plus 4. So, what we are asked to do is to find the coefficient of, what is the coefficient of x? Now, the term that contains x is minus 7x. Therefore, the coefficient of x, the coefficient of x is going to be minus 7. That is how we solve that question. So the coefficient, the x term, the term that consists of x is minus 7x. So the coefficient of x in minus 7x is going to be minus 7. Consider the negative sign. It's very, very important. And that is how we solve that question. Now, the second question we have here says that what is the coefficient of xy squared in the expression? Now, what is the expression? The expression is y cubed plus 2xy squared minus 7xy. Now, what is the term that has xy squared? The term that has xy squared in this expression is plus 2xy squared. So, since you are having this as we have it in the given expression, plus 2xy squared, that means that the coefficient of xy squared is plus 2. Or simply put, you can just say or 2. So if it is not the negative, the positive sign is not necessary, but in the case of negative, it's very, very important. So you can say the coefficient of xy squared, as we have it in this expression, is plus 2. Just like what we have here, plus 2, or simply say 2, and you get your answer correct. Now, what about the third question? Let's see what the third question talks about. For the expression x squared minus 5xy minus y squared, write down the coefficient of, now we are having some terms that we want to write down the coefficient. So what does the expression say? It says x squared minus 5x y minus y squared. Now, for the first term, we want to find the coefficient of x squared. Now, the coefficient of x squared, as you have it here, you're having x squared. So what is the coefficient? Coefficient is 1. No, we have said it. The coefficient of a term that does not that is not inputted, or that does not show there, means that the coefficient is 1. So 1 multiplied by x squared will give us x squared. So therefore, the coefficient of x squared is 1. Of x squared in this expression is 1. Then also, the term that consists of xy is minus 5xy. Minus 5xy. So from here also, we can say therefore the coefficient of xy is minus 5. Minus 5. It always indicates the negative. Then the last there we having C, the coefficient of y squared. Now, in the term y squared, you're having it in this expression as minus y squared. So from here, you can say, therefore, the coefficient the coefficient of y square is minus 1. Minus 1. As you can see, in the first one, there is no negative here, but once you have a negative here, you have to indicate it. The coefficient is minus 1. So the next question we are having here, now, for the expression x cubed minus 3x plus 7, write down the coefficient of x cubed. Then we have the second one, x squared, and the last one, x. Now, in this case, for the last question we are having there, what is the coefficient of x cubed in this expression? The expression we are having there is x cubed minus 3x plus 7. So the coefficient of x cubed, let me just put it, the coefficient of x cubed here is equals to 1. And that's the answer. The coefficient of x cubed is equals to 1. So let's put it in a clearer way. So therefore, the coefficient of x cubed is 1. As you can see here, is 1. Then the next one says coefficient of x squared. Now, when you look at the expression, there is no term for x squared there. So there is no term for x squared. That means the coefficient of x squared is 0. Since there is no term for x squared, you're having now x squared. There is no term from x squared. All you have is x cubed minus 3x plus 7. So therefore, the coefficient of x squared, since x squared is not in the term, is equals to 0. Because 0 multiplied by x squared will give us 0. So, and it's not here. And the last we are having there is coefficient of x. What's the coefficient of x? Therefore, the coefficient of x, as you can see, the coefficient of x is minus 3. It's minus 3. So that is how we can solve this question on coefficients, and that is what we refer to as coefficient, as we have explained from the beginning, and we solve question to really explain and let you understand what coefficient is. And like I've said earlier on, we are treating algebra, this algebraic series. Now, if you are new to this channel, ensure you subscribe to this channel. It's very important. Subscribe to this channel for more information about the other concept of algebraic that we have explained. Addition and subtraction of algebraic, multiplication of algebraic. Check the description link below. You get those information.